Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. We continue with our lesson on Hazrat Abu Bakr As-Siddiq radiallahu anhu from the Kitab Khulafaa-e-Rashideen. Our topic today is on the election to Khilafah. That how was Hazrat Abu Bakr As-Siddiq radiallahu anhu chosen as the first Khalifa? Now, after the demise of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the biggest question and the biggest worry that arose was the question of Khilafah. That for 23 years, they were under the divine guidance of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, who is there that is the most deserving of continuing that responsibility of guiding the people to the right? Now, the Ansar are the helpers of Medina. Right? They are those people who called Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to Medina and they helped them. So they are referred to as the Ansar. The Muhajirin are those who migrated from Mecca and came to Medina because they were being oppressed by the Kuffar. So the Ansar, they gathered at a place called Thaqifa Bani Sa'ida. Thaqifa Bani Sa'ida. And why they gathered here is so that they could discuss the question of Khilafah. Right? So the Ansar, they came to Thaqifa Bani Sa'ida to discuss the question of Khilafah. Now Hazrat Abu Bakr As-Siddiq radiallahu anhu, he also went. Hazrat Abu Bakr As-Siddiq radiallahu anhu, he went together with Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu and Hazrat Abu Ubaidah radiallahu anhu. So the three of them, Hazrat Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu, and Hazrat Abu Ubaidah radiallahu anhu also went to Thaqifa Bani Sa'ida to discuss the matter of Khilafah. Now the Ansar, they put their argument forward and they said that we deserve to get the Khilafah. So the person chosen for the first Khalifa should be from amongst the Ansar. And the points they brought forward was, they said, we invited Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam to Medina. So they said, we invited Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam and the Muslims to Medina. We supported him. Right? So we supported his cause. And number three, they said that we fought with him. So the Ansar, they said, we invited Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to Medina, we supported his cause, and we fought with him. So for these three reasons, they said that we deserve that the Khalifa should be from amongst us. Whereas the Muhajirin, they argued, remember the Muhajirin are those who migrated, they argued and they said that we were the first to accept. What did they say? We were the first to accept Islam. Right? They said we are the first to accept Islam, and despite all the hardships and all the torture and the difficulties that the Kuffar of Makkah put us through, we were still steadfast. So they said we were steadfast, and they said we were the first to worship Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam on earth at that time. Right? So the Muhajirin argued and they said we were the first to accept Islam. We remained steadfast no matter what came our way. And the third point they said is we're the first to worship Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam at that time. So now the Ansar and the Muhajirin are having this argument and they're having a debate as to who should be the Khalifa. First, they're deciding should it be from the Ansar or should he be from amongst the Muhajirin. So after much debate and after much discussion, they came to the conclusion that the Khalifa should be from amongst the Muhajirin. Right? So everybody, remember this discussion is with all the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, and they all agree that the first Khalifa should be from amongst the Muhajirin. Now, Hazrat Abu Bakr As-Siddiq radiallahu anhu, despite his great personality, he suggests that either Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu or Hazrat Abu Ubaidah radiallahu anhu should be elected as Khalifa. But both of them refuse. They both say, no, we cannot be Khalifa before Hazrat Abu Bakr As-Siddiq radiallahu anhu. Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu and Hazrat Abu Ubaidah radiallahu anhu both refused, and they said, if Abu Bakr As-Siddiq radiallahu anhu is present amongst us, we cannot become the next Khalifa. And they started mentioning his virtues and his merits, amongst which they mentioned, one was where they mentioned that Abu Bakr As-Siddiq radiallahu anhu was the most excellent amongst the Muhajirin. So he was the most excellent amongst the Muhajirin. Right? They said he was the most excellent amongst the Muhajirin. They mentioned his companionship with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam during Hijrah. They mentioned his companionship with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam during Hijrah, and they mentioned his imamat. Right? So during the illness of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Hazrat Abu Bakr As-Siddiq radiallahu anhu was chosen to take on the imamat of Masjid al-Nabawi, which was the highest honor any Muslim could receive at that time. So the points they mentioned was, he was the most excellent amongst the Muhajirin. They mentioned his companionship with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam during Hijrah, and they mentioned his imamat during the illness of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So together with all the mashwara and all the consultation with all the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, they all finally came to an agreement that Hazrat Abu Bakr As-Siddiq radiallahu anhu was the most deserving of becoming the first Khalifa. And Abu Bakr As-Siddiq radiallahu anhu thus becomes the first Khalifa, and all the Sahaba radiallahu anhu come forward to offer bay'at to Abu Bakr As-Siddiq radiallahu anhu. Bay'at means pledge of loyalty. Bay'at means pledge of loyalty. So they came forward to offer their pledge of loyalty to Hazrat Abu Bakr As-Siddiq radiallahu anhu. Hazrat Abu Bakr As-Siddiq radiallahu anhu, on becoming the first Khalifa, he gave such a powerful khutbah, which is unequaled in history. And some points of the khutbah are, he told them that you have chosen me from amongst you, but I am not the best amongst you. Abu Bakr As-Siddiq radiallahu anhu said that you have chosen me from amongst you, but I am not the best amongst you. He told them that I need all your help and all your support. And if I'm right, I want you to support me. And if I'm wrong, then I want you to counsel me. He said, speaking the truth to your leader is faithful allegiance, and hiding it is treason. Another point he mentioned was, in my eyes and in my sight, the powerful and the weak are equal. I wish to be fair and just to both. And the last point he mentioned is that if I obey Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, then you must obey me. But if you find that I am disobeying Allah and I am disobeying His Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, then I have no right to your obedience. This was the khutbah which Abu Bakr As-Siddiq radiallahu anhu gave on just when he became the first Khalifa. From the words of Abu Bakr As-Siddiq radiallahu anhu, we come to realize and we come to understand what a humble man Abu Bakr As-Siddiq radiallahu anhu was, that how he lowered himself before the people. He is the first Khalifa, and he's telling the people that I'm not the best amongst you. I need your guidance, help me, support me. He's talking to the people and letting them know that, you know what, I am not the best amongst you. And also that he was the most deserving of this position, that there could be nobody more greater and more excellent than Abu Bakr As-Siddiq radiallahu anhu to become the first Khalifa of Islam. The book that I am using is the Khulafaa-e-Rashideen. Visit www.lma.org.za. So with that, we come to the conclusion of today's lesson, and that is the election to Khilafah of Hazrat Abu Bakr As-Siddiq radiallahu anhu. And the main point to remember in today's lesson is that the Ansar and the Muhajirin and all the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, they had all pledged bay'at, and they had all pledged the pledge of loyalty, pledge of allegiance to Hazrat Abu Bakr As-Siddiq radiallahu anhu. And he was made Khalifa with the consultation and the mashara of all the Sahaba. Inshallah, we will continue on the merits and the virtues of Abu Bakr As-Siddiq radiallahu anhu in our next lesson. Jazakallahu khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.